This might be the reason why you have a lot of failed relationships. Watch this video.
It's a lot of women who you would sit down and ask her, like, hey, like in your last relationship, like what role did you play in it going wrong?
Right.
And she'll look you dead in the eyes and say nothing. I did what I was supposed to do. He cheated.
Yeah.
Or I did what I was supposed to do. He neglected me.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's something, but that speaks to the accountability of most women. And a lot of women lack accountability. And because of that they continue to repeat the same.
A lot of women.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me make sure the mic is working. I said a lot of women lack accountability, and that caters to them constantly repeating the same mistakes.
That right there, what you said, a lot of women lack accountability. No, and I can say a lot of men lack accountability. Y'all cover up this
right there. And I can say a lot of men lack accountability. That is literally what he's talking about. Like that thing you just did there is what he's talking about in this video. And I think he addressed this very, very excellently. We are talking about this habit of women refusing to accept responsibility for their contributions to negative situations or their actions, period. And the first thing that you do is say that, but I can say you do it as well. That is literally what not taking accountability is. You can't use one truth to argue against another truth. They are both true. So if you keep bringing up other truths when people are trying to address a truth pertaining to you, you are just hiding behind all the truths that you are presenting. And that is what not taking accountability is. We are addressing something that is wrong with you, something that you are doing wrong. Let's talk about that, and your unwillingness to talk about that is what we are talking about. But let's continue with the video.
A lot of women.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me make sure the mic is working. I said a lot of women lack accountability, and that caters to them constantly repeating the same mistakes.
That right there, what you said, a lot of women lack accountability. No, and I can say a lot of men lack accountability. Y'all cover up this and act like y'all's emotions just shut off, and the moment that a woman tell you about, y'all want to know so much about us, but the moment we tell you one thing about our past or about something that's very important to us, it's like, oh, she crazy. You know, like we closing that door as though everything has to be perfect. So I don't agree with that comment. A lot of women lack accountability. How about we address the men lacking your emotional state at the time that you're trying to get to know the woman? Like,
I think what you're doing is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because again, I never said that men don't lack accountability. When you said it, I nodded. Yep, you're right. A lot of men do. But just the mere mention of a woman having something to work on made you feel away. If you tell a woman that she needs to work on something, or you tell a woman that she's doing something wrong, you automatically go into defense, right? Or automatically like spin it back to what the man is not doing, or spin it back to what you did wrong. No. Sometimes you need to really just accept what that person is saying. Yeah, they may be wrong too, and we'll get to that. But right now, we on you. Don't spin it back in my moment of telling you what you need to work on. And a lot of women do that.
Again, I think he addressed it so beautifully, because yeah, you might be correct that the other person has things to work on as well, but that's not what we're talking about right now. And your refusal to ever talk about your own contribution to those issues is a big problem. It's the reason why you will remain stuck in cycles, in perpetual cycles, the same situations happening over and over again, because you are refusing to address one of the things that is contributing to the issue. I know the truth is, it's a difficult conversation to have, because nobody likes to admit that, I have issues, I have things to work on, I dropped the ball here. It's not a comfortable thing to admit. That's just the truth. But you can't run away from it. All of us have things that we could be better at, and all of us are striving toward being better people. And you have to accept that for yourself as well. More often than not, when there are negative situations, somehow you contributed to it as well. And it's not to say that in most situations you are primarily to blame for those situations. No, that's why I keep saying you might have contributed to it happening. And it's important for you to know what your contribution is so that you can grow. And that's one of the things that will never happen if you don't learn to take accountability for your actions. You will never grow. Have you ever met someone maybe you knew as a child, and maybe you guys grew up together, then you lose touch, you're disconnected for maybe years, then you reconnect maybe after a couple of years, and then after engaging the person in conversation for just a bit, you realize, oh, you haven't changed. And you don't mean that in a good way. You mean like they haven't changed, like they haven't stopped doing this thing that they used to do even when you guys were still kids. That's what happens to you when you psych yourself into thinking that you are never wrong, you're always right, it's always the other person that's the issue. You never grow, because if you think you're perfect, you won't think you need growth. Another thing that happens when we refuse to take accountability for our actions is that we remain stuck in cycles. Negative situations keep happening perpetually. The crazy thing is that when you find a particular situation happening repetitively, that is usually an indication that there is something specific that is causing it. There is something specific that is wrong. The fact that there is a pattern in this occurrence, this same thing keeps happening over and over and over again in different relationships, in different friendships, it means that there is something specific that is wrong. You've been friends with 7 different people, all of them disconnected from the others, but all of them are saying the same thing. All of them have the same complaints. There is something to look into. This applies to both platonic and romantic relationships. If you notice a pattern, it means that there is something specific that is wrong. You need to be introspective. Think about what could that thing be and solve that thing. Because if you don't admit it, you will remain stuck in that cycle. Another thing that's really important for us to know in this conversation is that taking accountability is how healthy relationships work. Being accountable for your actions isn't only going to get you out of that cycle of negative situations. It's how you stay in a healthy relationship. It's not only going to break you out of the cycle, it's also what will keep you in a healthy relationship. Like, that's how healthy relationships work. That is how peace is maintained in a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship is one where, for example, I do something wrong, something that offends my partner, and the way she handles it leads us to more problems. A healthy relationship is when she's able to look at me and say, I didn't like how you said this, but I admit that I also dropped the ball here. That is healthy. That is how peace thrives. If she never admits to not handling the situation properly, she will keep mishandling situations and think that she's justified in doing that because someone else started it. And this is so important because I know that one of the reasons why people are afraid to admit to their wrongdoings, especially when they don't feel like they were the primary cause of the issue, is that they are afraid that narcissistic people will take advantage of that. And that's the truth. Narcissistic people will take advantage of you admitting that you contributed to a negative situation. But you don't solve narcissism by becoming a narcissist. You address narcissism by being wise enough to identify it when it's happening. Not everyone you meet is going to be somebody that's trying to take advantage of you. But if you refuse to admit your contribution to a negative situation because you're scared that this person will take advantage of you, you're going to do that even with well-meaning people. And that makes you a narcissist. So as opposed to being afraid of taking accountability, the goal should be to grow in wisdom. Your goal should be to become more discerning. So yeah, I think that video was a very excellent video. I want to end this video with another video that I actually saw on the same topic, but it was a lady that was addressing the issue. I hope you enjoyed. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please give the video a like, subscribe as well if you'd like, and yeah, enjoy the video.
Women have a hard time taking responsibility. We have a hard time being shown ourselves. And I've come to realize that women are very, very prideful. Like, men have egos, but women are very prideful. And the reason why we have a hard time being shown who we are is because the opposite of pride is shame. And we don't want to feel that shame because it is very painful. Wow. But let me tell you something. You have nothing to be shameful about simply because you're imperfect. We are all imperfect. One of the best gifts you can give your husband is when he says, babe, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I see in you. This is where you can improve. This is the adjustments I think that you can make, is to sit back and think about it and then say, you know what, babe, I can see where I could do better in that area. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way, right? Eat it, because that's going to give you the relationship you're actually fighting for.
That's what a healthy relationship looks like. If you enjoyed the video again, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.